And in reality, every woman thinks she's a high value woman, right? Like, we're not going to have women say or admit to being, oh, I'm average or I'm low value. So in reality, high value men are looking for high value women. So if you want a high value man, then the best way to do that is to focus on becoming the right woman.
I think women's expectations are going up, and yet we're not becoming any more perfect. And so you have women that, there was a guy that last time when I was here that said something so important. He said, there are no consequences for a woman when she says she's a 10 out of 10. She's allowed to, you have that rhetoric all the time that, he asked me, what do I bring to the table? I am the table. And it's like, well, why are people treating you like a drive-through then? No one's sitting and dining at your table. What's on your menu? What are you serving? Is it appetizing? And I find that sometimes women don't look in the mirror enough and say, what do I see? Am I the kind of woman that the man I want wants to be with? They focus on the man that they want and not the woman that he wants. And so, you have a whole bunch of women that are now walking around disappointed because they're not getting the men that they want because the men don't want them. Women can be out of shape and just doing nothing, no real ambition, all that, and they still want the best. And so you find that people want the best for themselves without making themselves the best.
There you go.
So your expectations are up here, but your standard for yourself is here. It's like, no, sis, take a seat, take several seats, actually.
Yeah.
Anyone? Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely okay and encouraged for women to have high standards, but so long as you're being the same standard that you set for men. And the real issue isn't that women have like high standards. It's that they're being hypocrites in expecting a man to pay for their rent and pay for their nails and pay for everything when they don't give the equivalent of value in a relationship.
See, when women talk about what they want in a man, they're clearly asking the man to bring X, Y, Z to the table. So why is it that when that question is posed in their direction, now it's like, oh, why are you asking me that question? Like, I am the table. Really and truly, when they say that they are the table, that means they don't know what they offer because they probably don't have anything to offer. Yeah. That's literally what it is. Like, so I always laugh at that question. But okay, let me ask you guys, what do you think women offer in relationships? I just want to get your ideas, Bex. What do you think?
Is this like women in general, like average women?
In general.
Average women offer sex.
Is that it?
Like most women, I would say most women, in terms of like the good things, because most don't even want to cook for their man. They don't really do anything. So I'd say mostly. So
basically just entanglements.
I think it's more than that. I think they offer support. I think they offer like a strong woman in the home is a representative of you. So if something goes down, then you know that like there's a strong woman behind you to hold the fort down. Basically.
No, I'm talking about like normal,
like right now in reality.
Not like
reality, like every day, just So you think that
a little bit more than sex?
Yeah, I agree.
I never said it. Bex said it.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I think companionship as well.
You can get a dog.
But women can offer that.
Yeah, you can.
They can offer that.
And headache.
If you find the right woman, obviously it's not everybody, but she can also be a safe space. Yeah. And from speaking to men, we understand that men don't have safe spaces. They don't have places where they can really be themselves and be accepted for who they are, and they know that this person has their back. But the issue is a lot of women aren't peaceful, aren't safe, and so men are constantly just in a kerfuffle because, But I do think it's more than sex. Companionship, at least. Let's give that to the women, to the modern women.
So okay, you're saying like sex and companionship. Well, okay, sex, women want sex too. So it's kind of like a two-way street with the sex thing. The companionship is a two-way street as well because women are more going to want to be with someone than a man. If you really break it down and make it basic, men are more capable of just living their life on their own and being okay with it. Like, yeah, I would like to have a woman, but I'll just get on with it. Whereas women will tend to be more miserable if they're on their own. Like, let's keep it real. Do you get what I'm saying? So really that companionship and that sex thing, it's a two-way street. So like, what does a woman really bring to a guy? What do you lot think? Like, what is it that the woman brings that the man does not necessarily give to the woman.
In an ideal world?
In an ideal, whatever dimension you want to do this.
So we should talk about what I think a high value woman should bring to a relationship. And my answer would be the complementary traits that the man can't bring himself. So for example, if a high value man has good leadership, then the complementary is that she is open to being led, right? If a high value man has good work ethic and he's a hustler and he's on his mission, the woman should bring her support and understanding. And the small things like maybe making him a cup of tea when he's busy working. If a man brings the providership, then the woman should bring being open to receiving.
And the nurture.
And appreciation and nurturing. Yeah. So to me, it's not about like a 50-50 relationship. It's about both the masculine and feminine bringing the complementary traits that they should in the relationship.
I hear what you're saying with the whole, what does a high value man and a high value woman bring to each other? But really and truly, that's not going to be the majority of people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like, in recent times, like with certain other people on YouTube and stuff like that, and this whole high value thing came out, and then now this is the term that is just thrown about everywhere. In my opinion, I kind of find it redundant because we're talking about top 10, maybe top 20 at a push % people. Do you get what I'm saying? The vast majority of people are not in that caliber. They're not in that class. And so I kind of think if we kind of focus on the majority, then we're going to have like a lot more better outcomes. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not disregarding what you're saying, but it's just like, I kind of feel like we kind of focus on that top 10% or 20% too much in our society when we're not there. Like the majority of us are not there, innit? So let me ask you this. When someone says average man to you, what connotation comes to your mind?
To me, an average man is a man who is comfortable with staying in his normal job, doesn't really have that much ambition, maybe goes to the gym, maybe doesn't, likes to sit at home after work and not really do much. Mostly no ambition, I'd say. Yeah. That's the main thing, yeah.
So the average man out there has no ambition?
Well, no, like maybe they might think about doing something, but they don't typically take action to go above and beyond. That's my opinion. Yeah.
How do you measure that? Do you measure that by how much money the man's made in his life?
No, I think ambition.
Yeah, like everything you're saying, because you're saying he's not ambitious, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Like, how do you like come to those conclusions? Like, I think just your opinion in it.
Yeah,
like,
I think money does have a part to play in it, of course, but it depends on the age of the man. But you just have to have something going for yourself other than staying comfortable in your job. It could be investing, business, and also a man that doesn't have a good mindset and doesn't realize like what's actually going on in the world, and it's just comfortable being a slave.
Okay, all right. Comfortable being a slave. That's interesting, man. What do you think, Iman? What do you think about it?
I think it's like the average Joe, the 9 to 5, the one that gets paid like about 40 to 50K a year, like doesn't really kind of is too much in the safety net, I guess, in the sense of an average guy. Like, as you were talking about earlier, like there's no ambition. You don't feel like there's like a drive. Maybe there is a drive to be better, but like finding the way is difficult. But like an average man is pretty much your 9 to 5 average, like plumber, guy, electrician. I mean, you can have, yeah.
Tradesmen can actually make quite a lot of money, you know.
They can.
It's funny that you said plumber or electrician when they actually can make quite a bit of money.
I mean, gauging like for
it's kind of like the title and status is like if you say if a guy comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm a plumber," yeah, or I'm a builder or something like that. It's not the same as saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a brain surgeon." Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of that status kind of like subconsciously built.
So, but what I'm getting at is the guy could be a plumber, but he's not an average guy.
That's true.
You know
it's more about your mindset, I think.
It's about your mindset.
It's about the average man's mindset.
No, it's about your mindset, because you're the one that said that you put plumber and electrician into the average man, when really and truly that's not quite correct.
I think you're right. I think in terms of
you think I'm right, or
I think
I'm
you're right in terms of like me putting them in a box. Like the plumber and the electrician can make more money. Like that was wrong of me to say, but in the sense of like,
you're trying to give an example.
Yeah, I was trying to give an example, but like in the sense of like an average, anyway.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
anyway,
it's difficult. It's difficult. When you're talking to me, it's difficult. I know. What do you think about it?
I think I've had a minute to think. I think what makes a man average is, I feel like every man should strive to leave his mark in the world. Mm-hmm. You find your purpose, your identity, and you thrive in that. So do you have a 9-to-5, a regular 9-to-5?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you don't? Okay, cool.
Absolutely not.
So for example, I was going to say, if you had a 9-to-5 and you're also doing this, the 9-to-5 might be paying the bills. Obviously, I'm guessing all of this as well does. But to a degree, you're making your mark. You're
trying to put out my finances out there. You know the ones like indirectly, in diars.
I promise on that. But
go on.
You're making your mark. You're not just working, but you're trying to impact those around you. And I feel like there's a spark in a man that he can find in himself. And if that isn't there, then to me, you're average, because you're just willing to go to work and pay the bills and look after your family. And it's like, okay, who are you and why were you here? And what did you do for the world? Even if you don't impact the whole world, what about your community? I don't know. I feel like it does tie in with ambition quite a lot.
Do you think it ties in with money?
No, it's a weird one. The average thing is so hard to answer, because straight away my mind went to looks.
but that's right though.
Because I don't know what else makes a man average, really. Money, yeah, I guess money is tied into it.
I think you're right in saying mindset, like in the sense of like having that mindset of wanting to be better, being ambitious.
Just wanting to be more.
Yeah, like that's what I would say too, is average is a mindset and a way of thinking. Like as a man, do you think like the majority of society, where you want to go to university, get a good job, work up the corporate ladder, buy a house and get married? To me, that's your average man. And the difference between an average guy and like a, high value man is the self-awareness in actively seeking personal growth. Like in his spare time, is he watching Netflix or is he reading books on how to be a better man?
Do you think guys that go to university are average?
They can be.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, because average isn't just about education status. It's a mindset. And everything else is just a byproduct of the mindset, like money, right? So if you are a man who's mission oriented and you're driven and you strive to be the top 1%, then as a lag indicator, you're going to have more money because you had the motivation to start your own business.
Yeah, but a lot of people start businesses and they fail though.
Yeah, but
so you could have all the motivation and whatever and just still be a failure.
I'd rather.
Do you get what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. But I get what you're saying. Having that mindset does set you apart in it. Like makes you an outlier, because most people are probably I've got my job, comfortable, boom, that's it. I get what you're saying. How would you describe the average woman out there? Because we described the average man. So how would you describe the average woman?
The average woman goes to the club most of the time, settles for men that are disrespectful, doesn't do any self-development, reading, podcasts, doesn't heal from her past, has friends that have no goals, and picks men that are trash, so say, and then blames it on the men, and then it's a continuous cycle. Because I think with women, the men that they pick and the men that they're with, it really does affect them, because we're emotional. So then there's knock-on effects from that, and they don't, same as men, they don't put themselves in good shape. They just see it as, when they're not in good shape, it's like, why can't I be a bit overweight and accept, like, and a millionaire want me? But it's like, if you want a man that's in good shape, you have to be. And I feel like a lot of women don't take care of their health as well.
It's like that take me as I am type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, can I just say one thing though? Yeah, with your answer, you kind of more focused on the relationship aspect of who they're dating instead of who they are personally. Because when I asked you about the average men, it was all about who they was personally. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want all of you to kind of what do you think? If I say, describe the average woman out there, what would be your answer?
I'd say a big thing is average women act like men. They want to be like men. They want to be leaders. And all those masculine traits, that kind of ties into everything. They want to be independent and, don't look after their body, their health. And also, I feel like a woman should have ambition. She can't be sitting at home all day or comfortable at her normal job. She has to find some sort of purpose in life as well as a man.
Okay, all right. Do you think the average woman is ambitious?
No, because I feel like a lot of women they rely on a man to save them, and women have a lot of safety nets. Men have to get up and do it. They have no sympathy, but women, they can get away with a lot less. I feel like we're talking about the majority, not the minority. I feel like most don't. No.
Interesting. What do you think, man? The average woman. How would you describe her? Because we always talk about the average men. He's this, he's that. What about the average woman? Where's she at though?
I think it's a similar concept to the average man. It's like the mindset of not being ambitious enough, not wanting to better yourself, just settling for for what you have that's not making you happy. Kind of like more focused on like the shallow things that a man can provide rather than actually the things that like he should be providing, such as like kind of like looking for financial security when you can actually go financially secure yourself. Like it's like a lazy mentality, the same as an average.
You're saying
man.
The average woman is lazy? Is that what you're saying?
It can be a lazy some average women can have a lazy mentality.
Some, or are you saying some average women, or are you saying the average woman?
You can't generalize. You can't generalize regardless of what it is. But like to generalize, an average person is someone who can be lazy because they don't look for the better and bigger thing.
So the average
like you got to think big.
So you're saying the average woman is lazy?
I think both average men and women can be
We're talking
lazy.
about women this time.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You can say it in a full sentence.
Average women can be lazy. Not all, but
she
some.
just don't want to say it. That's funny, man. That's funny. Because this is the thing. It's like, I've noticed, like, it's not even a bad thing, but when it comes to women being critiqued, it's like, it's hard for you lot to do it. It's hard, but we keep it moving anyway. So, Lois, what do you think about it? The average woman out there, what have you seen out there?
Woman, do you know what? I'm going to answer this in a way...
Cryptic.
No. I'm going to try and be as clear as possible, but as in, because I know when it comes to men looking for women, they don't necessarily care about how much she's earning and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to more base it on her emotional well-being, her as a woman. I feel like an average woman doesn't know how to control her emotions, doesn't know how to articulate what she feels, and has not healed from her trauma from the past. Now, I say this humbly because I'm still on my own journey. I got my own triggers and ways of being. But I find that the woman that's above average is a woman that's pushed past that threshold of, definitely. I just felt like this today and I acted on that. Okay, sis. And then what? Was that productive? Was that good? Did that help you? You find that a lot of women really do function from their emotional state, and men don't enjoy that. But obviously, we're not talking about it necessarily for men, but just as a woman in general, I feel like a woman that masters herself is above average.
That was on point. That was a really good answer. Like, cause I wasn't even thinking of that, but as soon as the words came out, I was like, this is on point. Like, I think, the average woman, totally controlled by emotion, can be totally irrational and it doesn't even reflect, doesn't even look at it from outside like, okay, I'm being a bit stupid right now. I'm being a bit like, what am I doing? Like, this is not helping me. Yeah. But a lot of times it's like, because they get reinforcement from society, everybody, friends, family, like, oh yeah, it's his fault. Oh yeah, it's okay. You're a woman, so it's okay. Do you know what I mean? But really and truly, a lot of times you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
I've seen a lot of destructive behaviors in women, and it's just like, sis, you telling me you can't see? You can't see what's happening here. Sometimes, why is this happening to me? It's like, well, you allowed it. You know, just take.
Or you put it on yourself.
Yeah,
you put yourself in that mix.
Yes, back to the accountability thing, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you, though. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. Get me. Anyway, what do you think, Hannah?
I would say similar. The average woman doesn't have the self-awareness to reflect on herself and take accountability on where she can do better in all areas. So, for example, in career, she may be in an average job that she doesn't like, but instead of moving jobs, she'll just complain about it. Or in relationship, she might be not having any luck in her dating life, but instead of picking up a book on how to be better at dating, she'll say all men are trash.
Yeah.
Or it's just does she make personal growth a priority in her life? Is she investing in life coaches or mentors? Does she spend her free time learning about investing instead of bad money management and things like that?
Do you think the average woman is good with her money?
No. I mean, it's an average woman by definition.
Because you're talking a lot of like business, like career type of that kind of aspect, and I like that. It's a different like kind of side. So I'd ask you, like, with the money, then are they good with money? The average woman.
An average woman, by definition, is average at money. So she might live paycheck to paycheck and spend stuff on maybe her hair, her nails, a bit of shopping, but she won't take that extra step to learn how to invest or how to save money. So that's what I think.
And I think the average woman would probably be inclined to waste her man's money as well. Yeah.
Although I have to say, to add on to that, average women also believe in going 50-50 a lot of the time.
Okay.
Or not about that. Okay, let's make the distinction between average and majority. Nowadays,
but the average would be the majority, though, isn't it?
Nowadays,
run of the mill, the typical person walking around, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. But anyway, key point
it's
here.
Not maybe. It is. It's not maybe.
Key point here is a lot of women also think that 50-50 should be the way to go.
I would say those women
be independent.
Those women that believe in 50-50, it's not really by choice. It's probably by, they're forced to go down that route because they may not be able to get a guy who would finance their life. Let me put it like that. They may not be able to find that guy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if a woman is just unattractive, she's a duck, she's overweight, she's got like loads of baggage and stuff like that, it's going to be pretty difficult for her to find a guy that is going to come and finance her life, even if she's an IG model looking chick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so she's going to be more inclined to be, you know what, I don't mind doing 50-50. It's not all about a man doing it. Yeah, of course you're going to say that because you don't have the option. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a difference between a woman who doesn't have the option versus a woman who's been conditioned to think that she should be 50-50 because of feminism. Like, you'll be surprised the number of women nowadays who physically won't let a man pay for her.
You think
just
so?
To make a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Are you those type of ladies? Would you feel funny if a guy was to pay for you in this day and age because you're modern women?
I used to.
Feel funny.
Why are you laughing?
But not anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore. I used to. I'd feel funny before, but now, I'd accept it.
No, I would accept
pay for everything. Pay for everything.
Although I would like the gesture of someone paying for me, I would still feel uncomfortable. Like,
really?
I don't know, yeah.
No, do you know, I would definitely let a man pay for me on a date, but I would repay him in other ways. But I just feel like...
What other ways? We need to know. We need to know.
Like support, teaching him new things that I know, being there for him, those kind of things. But I just feel like personally, men should pay. It depends what stage you're at, but men more so should pay for the going out to eat dates. and I'll repay
I think
him
they
other
should.
ways.
Yeah,
I think they
I
should as
agree.
well.
It's about allowing him, you know, it's like it kind of demasculinizes a man when you're arguing with him to pay the bill.
Sometimes it's also cultural.
Depends
I
what
don't
man
know.
you go for, isn't it? But
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to
Yeah.
be in that exact same mindset where I would feel uncomfortable if a guy would pay for me. But then when I reflected, I realized that I wasn't comfortable because I wasn't open to receiving and because I didn't think that I deserved a guy who would want to pay for me without expecting anything in return. And that's a very similar mindset to a lot of modern women now, where the reason they want to pay isn't because of a good reason. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to feel like I owe him, or I feel bad, or stuff like that. So on reflection, like the reason that a lot of modern women want to pay isn't even a good reason. And
Yeah.
it's just a sign that they haven't done the inner work
Yeah.
to be
Okay.
open to receiving.
Mhm.
I was going to ask a question real
Go on,
quick.
go on.
Because Bex earlier said that, well, one of the things that you said at the start was the average woman is like in the clubs all the time. Now, I like a good party. I like a good day party, yeah? So does the woman that's above average not go out to have fun? Does she not go
no,
to party?
all the time. I think like them girls that are like at the tables every single weekend.
Okay,
There's
that's
nothing
what you
wrong in
mean.
going out when you want here and there. Like that's fine. But you know the ones that are always at like men's tables and stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to clarify.
Let me ask you lot, and before I ask you fifth question, who knows? Yeah. Everyone hit the like button, yeah. Do not just be sitting here idle. Make sure you do something. Hit the like button, support the channel, hit the super chat. And guess what? We are gonna have callers as well. Yeah. So you lot be ready. Top producer Blessing is going to put a number out there for you lot to call in the show so you lot can interact with us, and we're gonna keep it moving from there. Let me ask you lot a question, yeah? Would you ladies here date an average man?
No.
No.
No,
No.
no,
No.
no,
Nope.
no. What does the average man look like physically, do you think?
No gym. A 5, 6 out of 10. Extremely short. Not like, but yeah, I think extremely short.
What's extremely short?
Like under 5'6",
How tall are you?
5 foot.
Okay, interesting.
Not hygienic. You can kind of tell when a man's hygienic and well groomed.
You're saying that the average man is unhygienic? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So you mean
interesting.
it's just looks wise?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
physicality right now.
Physicality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we want to make it really basic. We're getting to the real roots now. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Because I was going to say, I don't think the average man has a specific look.
I
You can be
agree.
really good looking and be average. But if you're
Okay.
specifically going on about looks,
So you
then
think
we
a
can
Chad
do
and a,
that.
you think a Chad and a Tyrone is going to be an average guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
agree with
Can
that.
be, yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you have nothing in your
They
brain
might
and
not-
you look like a
Yeah.
model, then that obviously like you have nothing to bring to the table, just your looks, and your looks are probably going to fade in the next, like, I don't know,
There
10
are
years.
models though that are not very intelligent and they're beautiful. They have followers, they have connections, and they've got everything they want. And women will still want them even if they don't really have a brain, you know?
Yeah, that's because women also fall for men for the wrong reasons. Like, women fall for men based on how attractive they are, not based on how the man treats them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.